My name is Dan Ling with P-Cubed. As Pat said, we're a project management and program management consulting company. We are based out of Ann Arbor, Michigan. So P-Cubed, we have a very special focus in program and portfolio management. And our company's been a little bit of evolution as well in recent years. So P-Cubed was a global company. We had about 400 consultants. And MIGSO was also a global company, but their emphasis was mostly in Europe, doing a lot of aerospace. We have hundreds of engineers helping manage the development of the next generation jets. So when we came together, we became part of the ALTEN group. Now, collectively, we have a capability as a set of companies to really deliver on any type of engineering program or major initiative, because not only do we have the program management expertise, but we also have the engineering expertise and the technology through companies like Cresttek. So we're starting to work together and pool all of our resources to really bring complete solutions to our clients, both from a program management, project management, portfolio management perspective, but also from an engineering perspective. P-Cubed has been in business for over 22 years. So what do? Innovation and portfolio management. That's all about looking at a collection of projects and programs at a portfolio level and making sure that the organization is going to deliver the most value across those projects. So Smart Columbus and the 33 Corridor, those are programs. They need to be managed like a program for them to be successful. Capability development, that's taking our best practices and our people and bringing that to our clients. For example, a project management office, we can come in with a set of best practices, enable that and get it up and running, and then turn it over to our clients. And business transformation, that's large programs, doing the fiber optic down the 33 corridor. That's a big project, so managing that. So all those are forms of projects and programs that P-Cubed helps our clients with on a global scale. So we have an office in Houston, ours at Ann Arbor, New York, and San Francisco are our key hubs, and also Toronto. For each of those industries, just a sampling of some of the clients we've worked with over the years. We've been in about 100 of the Fortune 500 companies, helping them with these types of initiatives. We actually provided program management services for the Olympic Games in Athens, Greece in 2004, and also the London Olympics in 2012. And we've done some other major program work at the government level. So as I said, this is a program, and over the years, when working with our clients, we've developed an approach and a methodology on what we know it takes to deliver a successful program. And we call this our program delivery methodology. So these are all the major elements of structuring a program for success. So there's phases: identify, define, deliver, close. And then within each of these phases, there's a set of deliverables that you need to structure around that program for it to be successful. So right up front, establishing the program. So these are the work streams. How do you organize that? How do you bring all the stakeholders together? And then developing a strategy and a vision for that program. In the end, what does it want to accomplish? And then how do you align the stakeholders across all these different organizations to make sure that they agree with that strategy and that vision? The blueprint delivery plan. So how are we going to manage it? What goes in the timeline? What are our key milestones? What are our phase gates? So how do we structure this in a way, put governance around it, so all the stakeholders know exactly what the status is, how the money is getting spent, and what's the benefit that the program is going to deliver in the end across all the different organizations. So we take this approach when we come to work with a new client, and we have a set of best practices for each of those areas that we've built out over the years. So this is how we can mobilize rapidly when we engage with a client on a major program. We can bring all of our processes, all of our technology. We also have solutions that support this to manage the program from beginning to end, the timelines, do the milestone reporting, and report out to the stakeholders at all levels. So you need to bring all those people together and agree on a common set of goals and objectives to support the strategy and what does success look like in the end. So we have a defined approach that we basically bring in as a toolkit and help manage and deliver the program with our clients. So obviously stakeholders, they all have to agree. You have lots of them on this program. What is the direction, the vision that's going to be delivered at the end of this program? That's got to be clear, and you got to put benefits on it. And you can manage that if you set that up at the beginning of the program. Obviously managing the cost, the timeline as well. Everything needs to be coordinated. And lots of construction going on as well. And then managing the issues, managing the risks, and basically all the key program management focus areas there on the left: the scope, the schedule, financial control, risk management, What's the technology roadmap? You know, it's fiber now, could be wireless later. What's the cellular? How do they work together? So someone's got to look at that from an architectural perspective and lay out that roadmap, because things are going to change. Technology is constantly changing. So that's got to be incorporated into what the overall plan is for the initiative. So taking all these things together and managing them under the context of a program, and us in working with Cresttek, that's an approach we would take to help make sure that this initiative is successful in the end. And quite often, when we first engage with a client, their program is already underway and maybe they're struggling. So a typical approach we would have is do an assessment across all of our key program definition areas and come back with a heat map that shows, based on what we know is necessary for success to deliver this program, this is what we're seeing and areas that need to be focused on. And we take that based on our experience and put a roadmap in place. So here's what we found, here's what we know you need to do to be successful, and these are the first steps you need to take to ensure that's going to happen. So we often do this as a first step to lay out what the plan should look like. Some 5 key lessons in why, you know, approaching this from a program perspective and bringing expertise in to help structure it and deliver it. You can mobilize rapidly. So a team can come in, best practices, tools already, and start managing the program from day one. And while doing that, be very clear, what are we going to deliver across all these different work streams? What are the deliverables, and what is it going to deliver to each of the different stakeholders who need to understand what the benefit is they're going to get out of that, and eliminate the roadblocks. So put the stakeholder governance in place across all these different levels of government, and make sure that there is a procedure to go, if you have an issue, you have a risk, how do you get it resolved? We build up the capability within our clients, and then we teach them and turn it over to them, and then they continue it forward. So whatever the next step is in this program, make sure it's delivered the same way. This is from the London Olympic Games in 2012. So we provided the PMO and the program office, and teams of project managers and program managers to manage the timeline and all the deliverables that were needed to get the Olympic Games completed on time. And in this, there were a couple really unique things that they did in London, because they were the real estate, they were constrained in some of the construction. They actually, in the strategy part, strategically located certain venues to revitalize the neighborhoods. And some of the construction techniques they did as well, like some of the buildings were even temporary. So they built them so they could be torn down and shipped somewhere else, and someone actually bought the building. So they had a really unique approach to overcome some of the challenges in the games. So we helped manage all of that, the risks as well as the cost, and did all the reporting to all the government agencies on the status. We also did something very similar for the Athens Games in 2004. They were in deep trouble because they were way behind schedule. So we came in as a program team to kind of bring it all together and manage the timeline. This was another program we did. In this case, it's also with the UK government. They were undergoing a major IT initiative to basically redo how all the citizens of the UK interact from the criminal justice perspectives, basically putting information around all of that. So we structured a program and had a program team for over a period of like 5 years and actually delivered that. So they totally transformed how they managed all this information about their citizens. We recently worked with Computer Sciences Corporation. They were basically going through a complete reorganization and realigning their entire workforce. Then they actually merged with HP. So in that case, they were actually working on a business model on how they would re-engage their systems with their clients, because they were struggling as an organization because they weren't managing it all effectively. So the program was working to transform the model, but I don't think they came up with it yet. You get politics in any organization, any large organization, but when you're dealing with something like this, all those stakeholders have probably conflicting priorities, different agendas, and if they all need to come together and see the end result of the program and agree to that, that's probably the biggest thing. And by the nature of this project, though, there's a lot of inherent risk. So how do you manage that risk, legal, regulatory, and make it kind of seamless with the program and make it predictive? That is a huge challenge. And then handle the communication out to all those stakeholders and all the citizens who eventually will see the outcome of what this program is all about. Thank you.